Scheduled Commissioners Court meeting. Reminder, tonight we will have our public meeting that I think about 6 years ago I started doing that, so the public, those that aren't able to make it to our Commissioner Court meetings on our 9 to 5, our 8 to 5 workers, we do that. I call those meetings in the evenings to allow the taxpayers to come and hear what's going on with their budget and their money. We do have a quorum present. Nobody is absent. Let's stand for our prayer and pledge, and we will get started. Okay, gracious, loving Father, as the seasons begin to shift, help us keep the flame of faith burning bright. Remind us to draw near to you, to build our relationship with intention and love. Teach us to be thankful not only for blessings, but also for turmoil, for we must trust that all things unfold according to your perfect plan. Give us patience to wait on your timing, even when the path is unclear. And Lord, thank you for placing your light within us, a light that shines even in a world full of shadows. May we reflect your glory now and always. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ms. Leal, do we have any citizens signed up to speak this morning?
Yes, Judge, have you?
All right, Mr. Jupe. The court has adopted rules of decorum. We allow our citizens and our taxpayers to come up and speak for 3 minutes. There is no back and forth from the court on that.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
There we go. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Wanted to speak to you guys. I saw item 14 on the agenda for hiring an outside attorney for the county. I was wondering specifically I was hoping to get some back and forth because I'd like to have some feedback in terms of the reasoning behind this. Because from what I can see, if it's contract review and approval or contract advice, that's clearly the purview of the county attorney. And I'm not sure why an outside attorney would be needed. I'm just curious what the reasoning behind that was. And I'm not in favor of spending money if we don't have to. So is there any way I can get feedback in terms of, I think Benny, you put the item on the agenda. And so I'd like to hear that discussed. And I mean, is it simply that county attorney's not doing their job? What is it? Incompetence? Is it, okay.
We are not, Commissioner Lissy. It's my job to keep control of the court here as county judge. And we have adopted those rules of decorum. I am happy to speak with any citizen, any taxpayer.
I'm sorry, I just arrived back in town at midnight tonight, so I wasn't able to speak to anyone.
Yes,
but,
sir.
like you say, I'm just not in favor of spending money for something we already have services in place for.
Absolutely. And I believe commissioners are available after court and any time as well. Any others signed up to speak this morning, Ms. Leal?
No.
Okay. We will move on to item number 6, and that is to accept an open bid submitted for the TDHCA Home Grant Reconstruction Assistance of 5 homes in Karnes County. We got one in yesterday by, what time was it, Michelle? Late? Early? Down to the line. Okay, this is from RM Quality Construction LLC. If the court probably recognizes that name, they've been the folks that have built these houses for us in the past. Open this. that's one of those first two pages, didn't you, Mister?
Usually on the second page.
See if I missed it on that second page. Okay, I think here it is.
That's one of them. Oh, you didn't miss it?
Like 160, here they are. Okay, this is for 5 homes. The project is for 5 new residential homes, 3-bedroom dwellings. The addresses are for 212 East Wall Street, 302 West Crockett Street, 420 South 5th Street, 1311 Nueces, and 417 East Bouchelle. And for 212 East Wall Street, the bid amount for each home is for 212 East Wall is $160,000, and for the other 302 West Crockett Street, 420 South 5th Street, 1311 Nueces, and 417 East Bouchelle, those are each at $169,000. Is that what you see for a total bid of $836,000?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So that being the only bid, do we need a motion to approve that since it's the only bid?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll move that we approve.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Commissioner Lissie and Commissioner Rosales. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed to that? All right, motion carries. We'll get some homes built. Item number 7 is to acknowledge, it's another acknowledgement, present the proclamation declaring September as Suicide Awareness Month. Ms. Doris and my Camino Real team are here.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners Court. Thank you for having us here. We are Camino Real Community Services, and we're here to just to kind of give a brief introduction real quick, just to get some face with some names. We have Amber Ramos, she's our Veteran Service Coordinator. We have Sarah Cabral, she's our Clinic Director here in Kennedy, Texas, in Karnes County. And we have Deborah Martinez, she is our Peer Support Specialist right here. We have Patty Furtick, she's our nurse for the clinic. We have Jaime Rodriguez, he's with the Karnes Co-Response Team. We have Margie Vargas, she's our Karnes Co-Response Team. And we have Lilia Jones, she's one of our clinic case managers. We're here to present the Suicide Awareness for September proclamation, and today's going to be a little different. I have Patty Furtick, and she'll be reading the proclamation.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On behalf of Camino Real Community Services, whereas suicide is the leading cause of death in the United States, claiming the lives of more than 48,000 people each year and deeply affecting families, friends, and entire communities. And whereas in Texas, thousands of individuals and families are impacted each year by suicide and suicidal ideations, and rural communities such as Karnes County face unique challenges in accessing mental health resources and crisis intervention services. And whereas recent data indicates the rural region experiences some of the highest suicide rates in the state, with mortality rates ranging from 15 to 30 per 100,000 population, compared to the state average of approximately 17 per 100,000. And whereas the stigma surrounding mental health issues in rural areas often prevent individuals from seeking help, leading to a lack of awareness about available resources and support. And whereas Camino Real Community Services provide essential mental health and crisis services to individuals and families in need, working to promote mental wellness, reduce stigma, and support those at risk of suicide. And whereas it is vital for Karnes County to support the efforts of Camino Real Community Services and other local partners by promoting open dialogue, increasing awareness, and providing resources for those in crisis. And whereas recently 2 adult residents of Karnes County tragically died by suicide, underscoring the urgent need of enhancing mental health support and intervention services in our community. And whereas we call on all residents to take action, whereby checking in with loved ones, seeking support, participating in free training, or advocating for mental health resources. Together we can break the silence, offer hope, and save lives.
Now therefore, I, Wade J. Hedke, the County Judge of Karnes County, on this day, September 9th, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 as Suicide Awareness Month in Karnes County. Yay, thank y'all.
Thank you.
I'll get this signed. Y'all want to come up, Doris, and have a picture taken? All right. Play some musical chairs this morning. Yes. I'll get it. There, got that. Look at you go. Get in here. Can you get us on the show?
Yeah, okay.
All right, everybody.
1, 2, 3, one more. Good. All right.
Thank you. Supervisor.
Yes.
And then I have a hot snack. Good? Yes. All right, good to you. Goodie bags. Here. I serve on the Camino Real board, and along with Judge Teal and others, and I just got on the board, Doris, how long ago? 3, 4 months ago?
4 months ago.
And it is eye-opening. I go to Lytle once a month to the main office there, and it's eye-opening, and it's incredible what these folks do for us. Camino Real is a very important part of our community. So thank you all for coming. Good to see you.
Thank you. Judge Hedke, before we move on, I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
6, Ms. Tapia, it was just an acknowledgement. It was not an action item.
But we did an oral amendment. I spoke with Ms. Tapia. We will do the same potentially on item number 9 and 14.
Okay, I just thought.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, we are on item number 8, acknowledge bond continuation received for Casey Ebram, EMS Chief, Wayne Giesler, Road and Bridge Engineer, and Beth Montalvo, Elections Administrator. We have these bonds. Terry Frazier was in last week, and they have increased my bond and all county judges' bonds to $500,000, so I had to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork for Terry the other day, so. Ms. Elaine.
Good morning, Court. I was just bringing in the actual continuation certificate for EMS Chief Ebram, and the other 2 for Ms. Montalvo and Mr. Giesler are just renewals, so we don't actually have the physical paperwork, but their bonds are indefinite.
Okay,
All right,
perfect.
thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Elaine? All right, item number 9 is acknowledge the interlocal cooperative agreement for the cost sharing of legislative consulting services between the County of Karnes and the County of DeWitt. This is something that the court has done since I've been here. It goes back to I think probably in 2015, 16, Judge Fowler, Judge Teal, Judge Huff, I believe, when the Eagle Ford was really getting started in Karnes County and surrounding counties. This goes back to the CTIF grant that they lobbied for. And this is a group that the county partners with DeWitt County, DeWitt, Gonzales, Karnes. The other one, Michelle? 3, 4. Anyways, we partner with those other counties that are in the Eagle Ford Shale region, and this is for Cornerstone is the group that stays up at the Capitol. Casey knows them for being up at the Capitol. I know them for being up there. And they pay strict attention to really all things for us, but like EMS, we got the EMS. Unfortunately, the CTIF grant was not funded again this year, in this past legislative session, so we've lost that. But anyways, that's some history on that. If anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer those after the fact from the court, from the taxpayers.
Judge, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When Cornerstone gives reports, do they reach out to individual department heads, or do they have a report that goes out countywide?
They send myself one. I believe Casey probably gets one now because of like the rural EMS that we got. But whenever I get one, I think Annabelle Sebastia is the one that sends those out on behalf of them, and I'm happy to forward that to you.
If you would, please, sir. I
Sure.
haven't seen any of them.
Yeah.
For public transparency, I'd just like to point out, I look at the bills every month, and we are paying $1,071.43 a month for these services. The contract here that we have says we will pay up to $2,500, but that cost has been split between all the other counties, so it's reduced our overall cost per month.
Thank you.
And I reviewed the agreement, and it's the same agreement that's been in place since 2019.
Yes, ma'am. And again, we'll do an oral amendment on this because Ms. Tapia said we do need a vote on it.
I'll make a motion to approve number 9.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed to it? Motion carries. I will get that signed and we'll get that back to them. Okay, moving to item number 10 this morning is to discuss, approve, disapprove proposal to combine polling locations for the November 4th, 2025 constitutional amendment special election.
Good morning, Judge, and
Morning,
good
Beth.
morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So yes, we are here to talk about the November election. And in your packet, I have provided you the list of the proposed polling locations. And that would be Kennedy City Hall in the Dowry Room, Holy Trinity Catholic Church at the CCD building, Karnes County offices on the square, the multi-purpose room, Our Lady Queen of Peace, the CCD building, Runge Public Library. So those are the 5 proposed polling locations. I've also provided you a list of every polling location that we have used in the past. The highlighted ones are ones that no longer, we had gone to countywide, so those no longer are a polling location. So the unhighlighted ones, those would be the ones that we would be using for this election if we did not go forward with the combined of the polling locations for this election. And to give you a little history, since we're countywide, in the past, we have not legally been able to combine locations. If you're precinct-based, you can combine and you can consolidate by law. This last election and the legislative session, they reinstated that we can, as a countywide, combine for certain elections. So that is why now I'm coming to you. Otherwise, we would have had to have all locations open. The reason why I'm coming is because we do not have the personnel, the staff, all of these 9 elections for this November election. We don't even have the staff for the 9. So we have lost some workers. So just to keep that in the back of your minds when we're coming up for this March election. We've had some that have aged out. It's just too much. It's a lot. So we are in the process of recruiting and getting some more workers. So anything you can do to help us, please. So I've also provided you a table on the bottom of this one that showed historically what we have done for this same type of election, constitutional amendment elections. And you can see the voting history totals for each of those. Each of these elections, going back to 2015, has had 5 polling locations, except for in 2023, because we were countywide and we had to have all locations open. As you can see, the voting totals are very low for this type of election. In 2023, it was high, but that was because we had 553 voters for our Karnes City bond election. We had a bond election along with our constitutional amendment, so those votes were higher. This election, just for transparency, we do have a school election. However, it's very, very small. It's Nixon Smiley. We have 4 registered voters in Karnes County that live in Karnes County that their school is Nixon Smiley. So it is a tax rate increase election, so we have to conduct it. I can't contract and have another county hold it. By law, you can't cross county boundary lines. You have to vote at the state election, the constitutional, and your school together. Okay? So they have to vote here. They can't go to Nixon Smiley to vote for that election. So I don't think that'll change our numbers too much on this one. So, and then I've just given you what I've proposed here is what the flyer would look like for our election if you so choose to go with the 5 proposed.
I like that you highlighted that. All Karnes County registered voters can vote at any of these polling locations on election day. That's the Kennedy City Hall, the Daughtry Room, the Holy Trinity Catholic Church CCD building, Karnes County offices on the square in the multipurpose room, Our Lady Queen of Peace Catholic Church in the CCD building, and the Runge Public Library.
And just as a side note, just to let the public know and for you all to know, I do have the sample ballots on the webpage already. I also have the constitutional amendments that you can go in and click on it, and it opens up and it gives you all the description and all the information about these proposed constitutional amendments.
Yes, ma'am.
So Beth, if I may, when you reach out to get workers, how do you reach out for them? I know this has been a huge headache for you.
It has. We primarily have done a lot of word by mouth. The parties have done, I've gone to events that the political parties have put on. We have not done advertisement. I am looking at possibly doing that in November and using that off of our budget for doing something in the newspaper, some kind of outreach that we can reach and hopefully get some more. I have put a flyer out, and so I'm working on that flyer and possibly using that at the newspaper. So other than words of mouth, sending it to churches, local organizations, they've been good with trying to promote that. Kennedy's been real good. So other than that, that's all we've done.
And then also, so this is, I mean, it's got November 4th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., so it's a one-day deal. Is there mail out?
That's for election day. So this is just combining polling locations on election day.
Okay.
Early voting will be here, and that starts October 20th through October 31st.
Okay.
So that'll be done, and it's only one early voting location, and that's historically what we've done in the past. And that you gotta look at the volume, and that's why I've given you on that little table. It'll tell you how many were mail ballots, how many were early voting, how many were election day for each of those elections. So it breaks down to like where voters are voting and how they're voting, and where we can put our locations.
But will they still have access for the mail-in
Yes,
votes?
yes, always. Always. If you qualify as a mail ballot voter, then yes, whether you're out of the county, if you're a student, or over 65 or disabled.
We discussed this quite a bit in our closing session whenever I was up in Austin at the legislative conference week before last. And elections are obviously critical, but election workers, you know, if you look at it, it's mostly folks that are retired. They're retired folks that are volunteering to do this. We do pay some workers, but you're not getting rich doing it. And you know, I encourage anybody that wants to serve, get with Beth. And there's a training that you can go through. You can talk to Rita. I don't know who the party chair is for the Democratic side, but you know, Beth can steer you if you're interested, or if you know somebody that's interested in serving in that capacity. Please do it. Elections are important. Elections have consequences.
Yes, I do know there's some counties that they do not have enough election workers. So far, I am able to for this election. But even for this election, I do know there's counties that are struggling. And so what they have to do is go to the county, and they've had to now use the workers, the county workers, to use as the election workers.
And we have quite a few. I say quite a few. We have a group of county employees and elected officials that do work it. You know, I worked it with the sheriff's race last year, and it's a lot. Just when I was the key holder for the sheriff's election, I don't know how many. What do we had so many 5, 6 different counts and recounts that we had to do, and you lock keys up, and then you open them back up, and then reseal them, and it's intense. It's not the voting of even 5 years ago.
That's correct, Judge.
Judge, may I?
Yes, sir.
Beth, we're having 2 weeks of early voting. Read that correctly?
2 weeks?
2 weeks, or okay. My only concern is that since there's only one early voting location, will there be hours that extend beyond 8 to 5? Will we have some 7 to 7?
Yes, we do have 2 days designated as 7 to 7.
Okay.
So, and I am going to look at how we can put that information on the bus route. I can't think of the name right now off the top of my head, yes. And have that posted on there.
Okay.
I have some laminated information, and it would be similar to this format, and have it there, and if they can post it for us.
Thank you.
Is that also on the website as well?
Yes. Well, my early voting and election day is not yet, because I have to wait for the approval today before I post it. Yes.
I'll make the motion to approve item number 10 as presented. I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Beth. Item number 11 is to discuss, approve, disapprove blood service agreement between South Texas Blood and Tissue and Karnes County EMS. If approved, allow the county judge to execute the agreement. Casey?
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. This is a housekeeping item. Every 2 years, we have to execute our agreement with South Texas Blood and Tissue Center as our blood service provider. So as the court will recall, and information for the public, back in March of 2019, so just north, I can't believe it's been 6.5 years ago, we started carrying whole blood product on our ambulances to be able to provide transfusion to patients in hemorrhagic shock. It's been a literal life-saving component of our care that we provide to our patients. So this document ahead of you is standard. It's the same document that's been in effect, essentially just updated dates and names of executors. Happy to answer any questions. Just to point out, again, as the court will see on the bills every single month, you'll see that we are billed for every product that we are shipped, and then we are credited every product that we return. So they will, in the fee schedule, you'll see, which is the last page, shows the cost per product, and then again, we're billed that every single unit that we're given, and then every unit we return, we will get that credit back. The only time we actually pay and are debited to our account is when we actually transfuse the product of which we have a mechanism on the backside to bill the patient for that level of care, not necessarily the intervention, but that level of care that's provided. So,
And correct me if I'm wrong, Casey, but the cost of the whole blood itself has gone down.
It's fluctuated. It has gone up last year and a half. It did go up. And it's kind of normalized back down.
Okay.
And for the court's awareness too, this last legislative session, there was a huge advocacy effort on behalf of Texas EMS Alliance and STRAC. There was a $10 million budget rider that was added to SB1 and HB1 that is creating a pre-hospital whole blood task force at the governor's GTAC level. And so of the $10 million the legislature had provided for this project, there will be a reimbursement mechanism where actually every Monday we have a meeting at a state level to decide how and when that is going to look, and the contract is currently being drafted with DSHS. So what that means today is that hopefully in the future there will be a reimbursement mechanism so that even for the units that we are transfusing and the equipment associated with the storage as well as the transfusion, i.e. warming it to the patient, will be reimbursed from the $10 million grant program that the legislature funded this last session. So happy to answer any additional questions. And Ms. Tapia has reviewed the agreement before you today and is happy with the contents there.
I'll make the motion to approve item number 11 as presented.
I'll second. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Casey.
Item number 12, discuss, approve, disapprove selection of DRG Architects LLC, San Antonio, Texas, to provide design and construction administration services for a new Karnes County Precinct 4 Service Center building to be located in Runge, Texas, based on demonstrated competence and experience pursuant to Government Code Chapter 2254, and to authorize Commissioner Precinct 4 to initiate contract negotiations. Commissioner Giesler.
So Judge, Commissioners, we went out for an RFQ, and the DRG was the only one that came back that submitted a bid or answered the call. They've scored well. I think that's all provided within the packet here. It is my recommendation to go ahead and select them. They are also in conjunction and will probably lead to saving us some money. They are also the ones that are designed and have designed the Precinct 2 Service Center. And since those buildings are going to both be very similar, it makes sense to me to go ahead and award them the opportunity.
Is that your motion?
Yes, sir.
I'll second.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, discuss/take possible action, proposal by Precinct 4 Commissioner to issue request for qualifications, RFQ, to provide services for the design and construction of a new Karnes County Precinct 4 EMS station to be located in Runge, Texas. Commissioner Giesler.
Again, Judge, Commissioners, I'd like to go out for a request for qualifications to construct an EMS station there in Runge. It is budgeted for the upcoming year, and I would request to go out to, or would like to make a motion to go out for the RFQ.
I'll second.
I have some discussion on that, and Casey, you're more than welcome to speak about it as well. We've been in obviously not just negotiations, but in the building part, approving the training center for the EMS training center, and with that, Weaver and Jacobs has been aware of the EMS facility that we're moving forward with in Gillette, and so that has been discussed, and there's already some pre-design on that that Weaver and Jacobs have worked on, and if they're going to be very similar stations, it's my opinion that we don't need to have two different people doing it if we're already using one company that we've employed and entrusted to do that. That's my discussion. Casey, do you have any?
So, point of clarification, so Raleigh McCoy is the architect. Raleigh McCoy and Associates
I'm sorry,
Interior Designing RMA is the architect that was a respondent to the original RFQ for the EMS Training and Administration Center that also contained an EMS Station 4 that in the RFQ stated in an unincorporated area near Gillette, Texas. And so I agree, they have already responded to and were selected for the EMS Training Center and Administration Center, which again is commencing with Weaver and Jacobs being the construction manager at risk. Conversations have been had, but design has not commenced on the Gillette facility because budgetarily it's not approved in the budget yet until it's adopted. Conversation has been had when and if that budget is approved, then yes, we would start those design conversations. It would be, and I mentioned this to Commissioner Geisler too, it would be advantageous, similar to that of what was described with DRG, having both projects to have potentially the same architect design the Runge facility as well. However, I can get behind the idea that because the original RFQ was specifically calling out a precinct or a Gillette area, it may be cleaner to do a secondary RFQ process and have RMA respond to that, or any architect respond to that. I think if the court approves an RFQ for the Runge EMS station, it would again be a weighted value, I believe, in that RFQ scoring process, depending upon who actually responds to that, to take that into consideration. But again, that's all hypothetical unless the court, until the court approves the agenda item ahead of you. But yes, Raleigh McCoy, the architect currently engaged for the EMS Training and Administration and Emergency Operations Center, that project will be commencing with Weaver and Jacobs. They also had responded, and in that RFQ was for Gillette. But again, in conversations with all parties, it would be smart to, yes, have them respond to an RFQ, but because it does call out specifically in that original RFQ just Gillette and not Gillette and or Runge or an undetermined location, it may be cleaner to have that additional RFQ.
Austin, thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, Judge and Tracy, that was my intention to go off the RFQ because it was made aware that it was for Gillette, that secondary thing. And in order to be clean and to give, transparency and fair game, make it out there, give everybody the opportunity to come in there.
Makes perfect sense.
And do that. And
Awesome.
so, and I know with the training center going on, and as Casey said, it wasn't in the budget. And I know he's got his hands full with the training center. I mean, I'm trying to push this thing through per the previous budget, thing. I want to be aggressive on it. So I also want to make sure that it's not overloading them as well, so if there's someone else that does have some freedom, because I know there's a lot of people building things today, that we need to be looking at all that together, I think.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Casey.
Judge, I have some input.
Yes, sir.
So I had a conversation with Casey, and Casey, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we discuss that it'd probably be about $2.5 million to build a facility?
I believe the budgeted amount in the proposed budget is $2 million for Runge and $2 million for Gillette.
Okay. So I would like to have more conversation with the court before we go and actually have an architect draw up plans for constructing a new facility. I would like to explore options such as purchasing a manufactured home for these EMTs to utilize while they're on call. I know that in speaking with Casey, that the manufactured home may not last quite as long. He said 5 to 10 years might be the lifespan, but if we can have a pre-manufactured building brought in, that'll get us our facilities quicker, and it would be much cheaper than the $2.5 million, $2 million, which I would just like to explore those possibilities before we go further. Not that I don't want these facilities, I do want all of our community to be covered. I just want to spend our tax dollars wisely.
I agree with the conversation piece. It's obviously regardless of what direction we go, even going back to the budgetary workshop discussions about, the impact to the ongoing budget to staff these two facilities related to the discussion at hand related to facilities. I don't think there's a disadvantage, because even if we do the modular version with a covered carport and things, which is a conversation in and of itself, there's still going to be some design needs there and some engineering needs, civil work. There's going to be, an architect most likely will still need to be engaged, in my opinion, because of, again, the site plan and everything else. You're going to need professionals to actually do that, not just plop a building on a piece of property and have power brought. It's going to require some work, but There are advantages and disadvantages to that. The advantage is, the number one thing is, yes, you're going to save costs. There are staffing models out there that, yes, manufactured home or commercial manufactured building that has showers, sleeping quarters, kitchen, et cetera. But I also want to be very clear that there are going to be accommodations that we're going to have, i.e. generator, right? That building's going to have generator backup. We're going to have those contingencies. As I stressed to the commissioner too, there were some OSHA proposed rules that were out there in the EMS space that have since OSHA has kind of pushed back or rolled back based upon stakeholder feedback. Basically, it would say that any new fire EMS housing facility would have to have fire monitoring as well as fire suppression systems in it. Now you're trying to have to retrofit a modular building with fire suppression, so there's a cost with that. Furthermore, inclement weather is another thing to consider, as well as a spot for the apparatus to be. So there's a huge cost saving on the beneficial side of the modular building, but when it comes to long-term, again, I would advocate for a pre-engineered metal building, but again, I'm open to have the conversation. But as I told the commissioner as well, I don't want to get into the point of making so many concessions that now we're simply just putting a building temporarily and then having to replace it. So I want to have a long-winded, long-term outlook discussion on what is the best option for Gillette and Runge as far as facility goes, to get the best cost savings for the taxpayer, but also the best benefit to my employees that will be inhabiting that facility for both the short and long term. So.
Agreed. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you both commissioners for those comments. There's a motion and a second on the table for this, so we can call for a vote. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed to it? Nobody's opposed. And I think with just doing this design, or just going out for the RFQs to provide services for the design, that we can still have those type of conversations with those that do respond.
And sir, I just want to further comment, as long as we can have those conversations, I'm for it, especially because there are things when it comes to having a government-owned building that we don't think about in our just normal daily lives. So
absolutely,
have an architect lead us in the right direction would be good, I guess.
Thank you both, and thank you, Casey. Item number 14, discuss, approve, disapprove to retain Attorney Jeff Chapman and the Chapman Law Firm as outside counsel for the purpose of construction-related contract review and negotiation, legal advice, risk assessment, and document preparation in amount not to exceed $15,000. Commissioner Lissy.
Last court, this agenda item was tabled for further consideration with regard to the amount the county was going to spend. And Ms. Tapia, would you like to add to this?
I believe he's currently. The Chapman Law Firm is currently under contract. I believe the limit is $10,000. And this is to raise it $5,000, not to exceed limit, to add this into it as well. As discussed last time, he is a board certified construction law attorney, and some of these contracts are very voluminous, and it's nice to have a second opinion, a second set of eyes, and making recommendations if I miss something or something needs to be added that I may not be aware of because I'm not board certified in construction law. So basically this is just to ensure that the county is protected with regard to these, and we're doing all these construction projects with regard to all these contracts. So I believe he proposed
Yes,
to.
please, Commissioner Vietor.
My initial concerns with this one was brought up at the last court was just that we didn't have a dollar amount set in place. I didn't want to just start running up a bill without having any limits. My other concern is just I want everyone to go through our county attorney first, and if then she needs more outside counsel, then make it be her decision to go to the Chapman firm.
I agree 100% with that. Whenever I get, the Chapman firm sends the bills to me to look over, and Tom, I don't know if you get them as well. I don't know if you're on those emails as well. But it is very detailed, and it is line by line, and it is phone call with Judge Hedke or email with Commissioner X, and it is for, I think his rate is $460 or $480 an hour.
I think attached to this, he has reduced fees for us.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yes, they're not.
$465 an hour.
$465 an hour. I agree with Commissioner Beatrick that if the court has a question, they should go through Mrs. Tapia, and if Ms. Tapia sees fit, and then that way it can be detailed on the bill from the Chapman firm that it came from Mrs. Tapia and not from the court.
I agree. And Judge, if I may, what's our current agreement state? Who can go to him now?
Anybody goes to him. I mean, I get it where, Commissioner Lissy, myself, not seen anybody else lately, I don't think, but a lot on the jail stuff. Commissioner Lissy was, lots of phone calls and then emails and stuff. So now there's some with Sheriff that he's working on the jail, and I think Commissioner Lissy said Commissioner Rosales was working on the jail now with Sheriff. So that's.
So do we need to have like another, I guess, agenda item put in on next court that states that we go through, everyone has to go through Ms. Tapia? I mean, is that something we need to do to rectify the issue so that there's a one point of contact?
I mean, if you want to clarify it that way, we can have it written that basically it would, like the limit, not to exceed limit would be separate from what we currently have, just make it the 5,000, and that it would be only if I requested him to review something or had a question or something like that after my review.
Are we anticipating $5,000 additionally more than the $10,000? Especially if everything's going to go through Ms. Tapia in her office to where she's going to review first. That should eliminate a lot of these questions that come from sheriff or that come from the commissioners or the court.
Well, it's just setting a limit, and then if it was something above that, if it should be, then we'd have to come back and basically renegotiate that. Or
But we have 10 there already?
I believe my understanding is that it initially, what we have with regard to like the jail and the offices on the square, that is limited to the $10,000. And then this was just basically adding the additional
5,000 specific to
what we originally have with him with regard to his consultation with regard to those current projects. So, but I mean, if the court would prefer that there's a different agreement in place with different language that says that.
But there's not one now, right? It's just a blanket $10,000 that, again, if we had to increase to 10,000 from 15,000, we could do the same for if it was 10,000 if we had to increase it. So I'm not sure that we even need to.
I mean, that's what I thought was in place with regard to, like I said, the jail and the offices on the square when Jeff has been here before. And in my understanding of what was sent over was like, we'll just increase it by $5,000. So I guess technically if you did that, it would apply to everything. So,
Yeah.
But again, if you feel more comfortable having a separate agreement that specifically lines out what's been discussed here and limiting that to 5,000 or some different number, we can do that as well too.
Can we just add it to this one that it'd have to go through you?
No, that's a separate, because it applies to, like, what's going on with the jail and the offices on the square. Like, I'm not part of any of that stuff. That's all the Chapman law firm that's handling that.
Jennifer, let me get this straight, I'm sorry. So your recommendation is come back with another agenda item?
Sure.
Stating the, sorry, my voice is bad today, stating the 15,000 and also that everything goes through you?
But it would only be 5,000.
It would only be 5,000, or if
In addition.
or if the Commissioner's Court feels a different number is more appropriate, 2,500 or 3,500 or something like that. So, but we can do that, and I think for transparency purposes, that would probably, that would be beneficial. So No issues with being transparent about everything, so.
So the agenda item would be an additional 5,000 plus everything filters through you?
Yes, we can do it that way.
So we just table this until,
You can't table it because you would have to put it on exactly the same.
Right,
no
so it would
action?
just be a completely new agenda item.
all right, we'll do another agenda.
We'll do it that way.
So
Okay.
take no action on this.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 15 is to discuss, approve, disapprove recommendation by the Karnes County Road and Bridge Engineer to extend the existing contracts listed below through fiscal year 25-26. Fiscal year 23-24 term contract for roadside herbicide application with Antex Integrated LLC. Fiscal year 24-25 term contract for turnkey roadway construction with ABN Construction LLC. Fiscal year 24-25 term contract for turnkey roadway construction with CK Newberry LLC. Fiscal year 24-25 term contract for turnkey roadway construction with BRM Trucking and Construction LLC. And fiscal year 24-25 term contract for drainage construction with S&D Reyes Brothers Trucking Incorporated. Wayne?
Good morning, Court. This is my proposal is to extend all the contracts the judge just read, and these are our term IDIQ contracts that we use to construct everything in the county. For the most part, unless we have to go out for a low bid. And this will be the third year on these contracts. It'll hold the pricing stable for the third year, which we're very happy about that. So that's what we're asking to do.
Ms. Tapia, have you looked at these again?
Yes, I reviewed them.
Okay. And so just so I'm clear, nothing's changed.
The only thing that's changed is there's I think there's about 5 items in there that we've gotten, we've basically added into the contract. They're for new unit prices, they're for pavement markings and a couple of box culverts. And those are added, they're part of the list that you're looking at right there, Commissioner. They've been added on a per contractor basis. It's pretty standard. Every year whenever I go to renew them, I update that list to add anything we've changed throughout the course of the year.
I met with our engineer, everything's fine, I'm happy with it. With that being said, I'll make the motion to approve item number 15 as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 16, discuss, approve, disapprove, convene into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071 to consult with county attorney concerning roof installation on county offices located at 210 West Calvert, Karnes City, Texas 78118. It is 9:53 and we will convene into executive session. Okay, good morning, everybody. It's still morning. It wasn't that long. It is 10:17. We will reconvene into regular session, 10:17. And item number 17 is to discuss, approve, disapprove, convene into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071 to consult with county attorney concerning property parcel number 70542, and Commissioner Beatrick is on this one as well. It is 10:17, and we will reconvene into executive session. Once again, we will be back. Okay, welcome back, everyone. It is 10:32, and we are reconvening into regular session. We will take no action on the previous item. Item number 18 is to acknowledge reinstating burn ban for Karnes County. This Commissioner Lissy had this on a couple of weeks ago. Ms. Tapia and I talked about this morning. We need we're going to do an oral amendment on this because it will need a vote. I'm in agreement that we need to place the burn ban back in effect. It is super dry out there. We're starting to see grass fires. And,
Thank you.
yes, sir.
Respectfully, sir, I understand that it is very dry out there. I have checked the forecast fire danger for Karnes County on the Texas AgriLife website. We are currently in a moderate, there's only 5 levels. It's low, moderate, high, very high, and extreme. We are currently only in a moderate stage of fire danger. I know I stated this last time it was brought up, but you know, there needs to be personal responsibility for all of us. If we're not in a burn ban and I light a fire and it sets my neighbor's hayfield on fire, I'm responsible for that. That doesn't change just because there's a burn ban. I really don't feel like instating a burn ban is going to stop those who are the troublemakers. It's only going to cause problems for those of us who are trying to be responsible. So I personally do not support reinstating the burn ban.
My opinion on this is because we have the authority to place a burn ban in effect. If we don't place a burn ban in effect and we know that it's dry out there and there has been fires sparking up, what responsibility are we gonna be held to as a county if somebody lights up a fire that's not responsible and burns 2,000 acres, 3,000 acres?
Well, I spoke to Charlie Mollick about this, and he said he doesn't like burn bans either, but he said if you don't instate one, you're gonna be liable.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I mean, on the same sense, drinking and driving is illegal, and there are several places that set up DWI checkpoints. That doesn't necessarily say that the county's liable if someone's drunk driving and cause an accident. So still, I don't think that we need to push more control over our citizens.
I'll make the motion to reinstate the burn ban.
I'll second it.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Commissioner Beatrice, thank you. Item number 19, discuss/take possible action to reinstate from the general fund Department 465-judicial. That line item is number 100-465-4602, district attorney salary in compliance with government code section 46.003. This was brought to my attention late last week, that a line item from the DA's budget was completely omitted. That amount is $1,322 roughly that the district attorney has been receiving from Karnes County for 24 years or so. It was not in the commissioner's courts.
Judge, may I interject? So I was not aware that my name would be co-author with this. I'd ask any member of court or any department head, I have no issue co-author, but at least give me a heads up of what's going on. So this was brought to my attention when I was going through some notes I had in my office, and I came across Texas Human Resource Code 152.1341 for Karnes County. And to back up, I was told when I started 5 years ago, this was a supplement for juvenile for the district attorney. I might have been told incorrectly, but according to this Human Resource Code, the Juvenile Board of Karnes County is composed of our county judge, the 2 district judges in Karnes County. The Commissioner's Court shall pay the Juvenile Board members additional annual compensation set by the Commissioner's Court, not less than $1,200 and not more than $4,800 for additional duties imposed on the members. Additional compensation shall be paid in equal installments from the general fund from the county. Well, we were also paying the county attorney a supplement, but according to this government code, and even after talking to Ms. Tapia, the county attorney, and that's why I was taken out of the newspaper a publication that y'all approved on 8/5, is no longer getting in its upcoming budget. So that was the mindset of this whole agenda item. I did reach out to some of our other, our other counties in our district. I know when I was auditor in Wilson, we never paid it in Wilson County the whole time I was there, even when Renee Pena was the DA at the time. And then Atascosa told me as well that they don't pay it in Frio County and LaSalle County.
LaSalle does pay.
Sir?
LaSalle pays her, like 11,000 something.
I mean, is it a juvenile cell? I'm not sure what type of. And
It's not juvenile. It's been paid, from what I understand, that Karnes County has paid this for.
Yes, for years.
24 plus. Michelle, everybody knows, my chief of staff, Michelle, worked in the auditor's office for 20-something years, so she knows directly what this is about. And Tom, you may not have been aware that you were co-author. You could have called me last week whenever this went on the agenda, but you were included in all the emails that were back and forth.
okay.
So, yeah. Eladia.
Yeah, because it wasn't brought up on the workshop or anything.
We didn't see it. It was completely omitted. That's the concern.
No, sir. It was not admitted after the work. It had not been in there at all.
Come on.
Come on, Lydia.
Right.
This came to light because it is a supplement that's been given from the Commissioner's Court for the VA. It came to light because I called the Treasurer's Office to confirm it like I do every item. I was told it's completely taken off the line item. What this is concerning, especially because if I'm not mistaken, the district judges and your county auditor took it off the line item without the Commissioner's approval. It's not their discretion to take it off, and it was taken off. And it has not been taken from the juvenile board. It's been taken out of the juvenile line item. Judicial. Correction, judicial.
It's $1,322 that she's been getting. Audrey does an incredible job for us, in my opinion. And she told me, she said, look, Judge, this is a principle thing, and we kind of all know what it stems from. And it's not right.
Judge, may I?
Yes, sir.
So, just so everyone can, please clarify for me. This line item was completely removed. It was not in the budget workshop book that we were presented,
Correct.
is that correct?
That
But
is correct.
it had been in the past. It's something that we've been paying for 24 years. It's just, this line item was removed. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, I personally feel like if it would have been in what was presented to us, we could have all probably just skimmed past it, said that's just part of someone's pay, and not thought twice about it. And I wouldn't want to lose $1,300 a year just without being talked to about it personally.
And Commissioner, according to the law, it states that the Commissioner's Court may supplement the state prosecutor's state salary, but may not pay the state prosecutor less than the compensation that pays the high district judges, and they're $4,800 this year. So I interpret this, I'm not an attorney, we'd have to pay $4,800, not $1,320.
And it says they may.
Yes, sir.
The county may, it says they shall.
Yeah, may.
It's at the discretion of the court.
Yes.
I've done some research, spent some hours on this agenda item. The way I see it is, I know it was, excuse my voice, I know it was 1,300 and something, but under the section 659.0445, like Tom just said, it's under B, a commissioner's court may supplement the state prosecutor's state salary, but may not pay the state prosecutor an amount less than the compensation it pays its highest paid district judge. So being that if we move to the district judges to 4,800, if we're gonna put this supplement in there, and this supplement, if we put it in there, it's not designated for any job duty for a juvenile or anything. It is just designated as a supplement for them. I also met with the county attorney because they were getting it, but I told her, well, if the district attorneys were getting it, y'all were getting it, but she explained to me that she was okay with it because the position of the county attorney already has it in their job description, that amount. I mean, so there would be no extra that would be put into that one, right, as a supplement?
Correct. The way it was listed on the budget,
Oh.
and I don't know how long it had been listed on the budget that way, but it was listed as a juvenile supplement. So I think that was sort of some of the confusion
I think it's good.
But technically, my job duties include
Right.
handling all the juvenile cases, so that's part of my job duties.
Right.
And there is an attorney general opinion where, like the district attorney had asked, because the way the job duties for that district, that county were written for the district attorney, they have done some civil work. And, but the way the statute's written for that district attorney's job duties, it included doing some civil work too. So they said, no, you don't get a supplement, but yes, you can get it under the section where it is discretionary
Right.
by the court, and it can't be less than what the district judges are paid.
Yes.
But those are my job duties, so I don't know how the county attorney is getting something labeled as a juvenile
Right.
supplement, but
And when I met with the county attorney, that's exactly what we spoke about, so it doesn't have to go back in hers as a supplement or anything like that, because it was in there, I guess, wrong. But on the district attorneys, it's up to the court if we want to vote it in there or not as a supplement, not for any job description or anything like that. But being that if we do this, it can't be the 1,300, because it has to match, it states right there, it has to match, it's paid to the highest paid district judge, so it's 4,800 there, so it would have to be 4,800 if that's what the court would want to do.
and I did verify all that with tax as well.
Okay.
So if the other counties aren't paying it, we're paying it, what are we getting for it that the other counties aren't?
It's just a supplement. That is at your discretion. LaSalle County is another county that pays it, out of the 5-county district.
I did
So
some investigation.
we're not getting anything more than they are,
As far
as far as the supplement. Our, like services from the district attorney, are we getting any more if we're paying this stipend?
I don't understand your question. What more do you want her to do? You're saying
Well,
somebody's on the side?
if we're paying the $4,800 extra, if LaSalle County's paying $4,800 extra, Atascosa, Frio, and Wilson are not, are we getting any more service than they are?
The services of the district attorney are across the
Okay.
board. It's not for any extra services that she does.
Well, I was just asking a question.
Now, I did some research on that too, and LaSalle County pays $11,544.72. But they're the only other ones that pay besides what we were paying, $1,300. But LaSalle County does pay, and they pay up 11 as a supplement. Commissioners Court agrees that as a supplement, not for any designated. Again, it's not for any designated job duty or juvenile or anything like that. It's up to the court if they're going to want to pay it or not.
Correct.
But if we do, it has to be up to what the district judges are making. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and just do my job. I always vote on what I believe should be voted on, never get influenced or anything one way or another. So my opinion is that we should go ahead and put this as a supplement and the district attorney's salary at 4,800. That would be my motion.
You go ahead.
I'm sorry, Judge.
Go ahead.
Jennifer, being that it doesn't have here a dollar on item number 19, can we inject that dollar item in there?
Well, it says, it includes the government code section 26.
Okay.
So that covers it.
Okay, just making sure, just clearing that before it comes back and hits us.
You had a lot of experience in this as well.
It's just that we have been paying this ever since I've been here and Michelle has been here, and nobody has ever questioned it until now. The only big question is Lottie had called my office and was like, oh, it's not in there, we don't know why, we don't know who took it out, but you've been passing this for the past 18 years with no questions, so why are we questioning it? It's a supplement, it doesn't matter if she gives us extra services or not, it's a supplement, always paid it, it needs to be paid, and buying bigger business.
What I think, Vi, and hopefully I can answer this, I don't know if it's a good answer or not, I think it's because it was labeled under juvenile, right? So it was mislabeled?
I was told it was juvenile supplement when I started Commissioner 5 years ago.
Okay.
I don't
It's
recall
been
telling
on
me
the
that,
general,
so
correct?
I heard it.
So I think maybe it was just mislabeled, but today.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yes.
did.
But today we can straighten it out and that it's just a supplement if the court agrees to pay it. It's not under any job description. So
Correct.
it'll be clear now.
Okay, we have a motion on the table.
One second, Judge. So for the 4,800.
Yes, ma'am.
The general fund department, the 465 judicial line item, like all
Correct.
of that, or what was the motion?
You want that,
Yes,
include
one,
that in
yes.
your motion,
Include
yes.
that. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I just wanted to
Yes,
check.
Yeah, correct.
I'm so sorry.
Judge, may I?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't really in favor of increasing the amount, but because sounds like we are legally required to, I will second Commissioner Rosales' motion.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed?
I'm gonna abstain because I just don't think I know enough about it to vote.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 20 is our consent agenda, and we have our reports from our election department, and we have budget amendment 2025-14. Remind me what that budget amendment is? Oh, okay, for the clerk, thank you.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 21, do we need to pull the elections or the budget amendment? If not, we will move to item number 22, updates from our commissioners, starting in precinct 1.
Thank you, sir. I participated in the 2025 Legislative Conference on August 27th, 28th, and 29th. The sessions I attended were related to the Texas Public Information Act, disaster preparation, conservative land use, and indigent defense. A majority of my time last week was spent preparing for the upcoming surplus auction. The sheriff and I met with Alamo auctioneers and have tentatively set a date of October 25th for an online and in-person auction to be held at the sheriff's office. I went through 115 cell phones to check if they work, ensured county data was erased, and recorded the serial numbers for our records. 15 of those phones did not function and they will be recycled. We will also have 8 surplus vehicles and miscellaneous electronics to be sold at the auction. I worked at the county food bank distribution on the 2nd, and we served about 130 families. I had a resident reach out about the condition of County Road 347. I met with the resident and our road and bridge engineer, and we're working on a plan to improve the condition of that road. I met with the business owner about our tax collector and state revised process for obtaining new vehicle registrations. This process becomes cumbersome because they were unable to pay for those registrations online. I reached out to our county treasurer for assistance, and she has been working with the bank and the business owner to find a solution. I got a complaint about a portion of County Road 160 that is north of Highway 72. I thought the area was a private drive because it wasn't identified on my map, but when I met with the county engineer, he showed me on the map book that the area was part of our county road. So we've made a maintenance request ticket to address the concerns of our residents. I took some time this weekend to review the bills list and the agenda packet. Yesterday morning, I worked at the City of Kennedy's quarterly food bank distribution. They had over 150 families come through, which is the most I've seen at any of their distributions. Crews are installing fiber lines for VTX1 internet, and I've had a couple calls about concerns with the installer, Aspen Utility. If you believe any damage has occurred to your property due to their construction, I've shared their contact information on my Facebook page. You can reach out to me for their information, or you can contact Aspen directly at 281-578-1000. We're moving closer to starting construction on our EMS training and administration building. We have a pre-construction meeting later today. On September 20th, the Escondido Creek Parkway will have a free wild and scenic film festival starting at 6:30 p.m. Also on September 20th, the Lonesome Dove Fest Foundation will host their annual fundraiser. This year they are having a bag limit bingo starting at 5:30 p.m. in Panamaria. And lastly, I would just like to wish happy birthday to my daughter Zoe. She's turned 13 today. I love you and I'm very proud of you.
Happy birthday. Awesome. Commissioner Lissy.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank all of our county employees. And County Road 253 is being prepared for its final paving. County Road 220 and 377 in Hobson. Paving and drainage has been completed. We've had numerous calls about the burn ban. Last week, we attended the legislative conference in Austin. It was very informative, and I think I got more out of the subdivision laws that we need to plan for future growth and the groundwater study viability that subdivision developers need to do before they can open a subdivision or build a subdivision. Had a lot of calls about the Conoco Conquista site and truck routes. Have been in constant contact with Representative Ginn's office about State Road 791 concerning repairs and the Conquista project. Been in contact with FPC architects with the courthouse renovation, and our attorney has looked at the contract amendment that should be on our next court date to approve it. Precinct 2 Service Center is work in progress. The geotech evaluation, we're waiting on it to start our next step on it. And would like to wish all the schools in the county a successful and safe football season. And I would like to wish Vi happy birthday. Today's her birthday.
21 and never been kissed.
And God bless America.
Real quick on Commissioner Lizzie on his Conquista update. I believe it is September 22nd.
Correct.
We are going to, not we, but TCEQ is going to have a public meeting. I believe it's in Fall City, is that correct? And so if you're interested, I met with Chuck Balser last week at the bank on that and you know, listened to his concerns, and he listened to my concerns on it as well. And I believe we're all in unison on that. So, but yeah, September 22nd, if you're interested in that, folks out there in video land that are concerned and have questions on the Conquista project, September 22nd, and that's going to be a TCEQ along with Conoco meeting on that. So heads up. Commissioner Rosales.
Good morning. County Road 360 and 400, they're under construction. County Road 289 has been bladed and dressed up and is being looked at by the design team. County Road 278, 279, 280 will be receiving second course of overlay. Shredding continues in Gillette. I had multiple phone conferences with elected officials regarding county issues. That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Commissioner Giesler.
So County Road 326, I received a phone call from a concerned citizen regarding some of the dirt being thrown back up against the fence. I went out and drove that road and identified that it was the actual fiber optic guys that were coming in there boring and burying their line. I passed that on to the citizen. He was appreciative, but the road does look really good and drives very smooth. And in the process of being out there, I noticed quite a few 18-wheelers that were speeding up and down the road. So I contacted the sheriff and asked him to send some folks out there to kind of slow that down, which he more than willingly obliged. County Road 331, it's in process. It's looking great. The bridge area down there is going to be something that's going to take some extra attention. So I do appreciate the hard work that those guys are doing out there. It's awful hot, and especially reflective whenever you're standing out there on that white surface. So really appreciate those guys. I have a meeting set up with EMS Director Casey tomorrow to look at the site and kind of discuss some things. Did meet with the committee on the architect selection, and also attended the legislative conference in Austin as well.
All right, thank you. Item number 23 is our reports from our tax assessor, collector, and our treasurer. Tammy, come on up.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. How are y'all today?
Good.
Okay, for the month of August, for the county M&O, for the current month to date, the total was $34,787. $792.60. The current year-to-date was $21,190,014.12 with 99.01% collected. Last year at this time, we had 99.11% collected, and when I left the office this morning, it was 99.02. For the month of September, it's going to move very slowly because we've collected the majority of our taxes. The delinquent month to date was $8,738.24. The delinquent year to date was $435,574.96 with 23.79% collected. On the INS, the delinquent month to date was $30.10. The delinquent year to date was $1,722.94 with 13.82% collected. On the road and bridge, the month to date was $5,925.37. The current year to date was $3,613,644.67 with 99.01% collected. The delinquent month to date was $1,480.24. The delinquent year to date was $72,040.86 with 22.67% collected.
Awesome. Thank you, Tammy. Vida.
Balance as of July 2025, $99,991,335.45. Receipts for the month of August 2025, $15,608,334.74. Disbursements for the same time period, $19,628,181.71. For an ending balance in August 2025, $95,971,488.48.
Heading the wrong way.
I know.
Birthday girl.
I know.
All right, item number 24, discuss/take action regarding the treasurer's report.
Make the motion to approve item number 24 as presented, which is the treasurer's report.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor? Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 25, discuss/acknowledgement of personnel changes. This is all departments. I'll run through these real quick for y'all. In the new hire realm of Karnes County, we have a new sheriff's office nurse and a sheriff's office jailer. Promotions, transfers, reassignments. We had one of our SOs went to school resource officer position. We did have a couple of resignation terminations, one in the Road and Bridge Department and one in the Karnes Wilson Juvenile Probation Department. No retirements. We are currently hiring for Elections Office, temporary part-time clerk, facility security officers. Karnes Wilson Juvenile Probation Department is looking for HHSC administrator part-time, a prevention specialist. Road and Bridge needs an equipment operator 1, an equipment operator 2, and a maintenance tech 1. Sheriff's Office needs a jailer, a dispatcher, a mental health officer / patrol deputy, and a couple of 2-3 patrol deputies. And this report is current as of August 28th. Item number 26 is payment of bills.
All right, Court, the total bills today are $1,013,962.40. The one item in the general fund's 123,042.38. There's one large item for $84,300 to S&D Reyes, which was to clean up on the Rungy lot that was bid out. Road and Bridge totals at $860,787.96. Our cutoff for bills for this fiscal year is 3 weeks from today. So everything has to be actually in your possession or services rendered by 9/30. Bills for this fiscal year are due by 10/31, which is a Friday at noon, and we will pay them out on November the 12th.
Thank you for that update.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I had one question about the bills.
Yes, sir.
In Fund 175, Emergency Management Coordinator, we had replacement of a faulty repeater, and we had fuel for the generator, and I know that's over at the sheriff's office. Just want to understand why it came out of Emergency Management, the repeater.
That's for the repeater is for our radio systems. And Scott, if you want to give more detail on that, and then the generator, obviously, that's specific to emergency management. If we lose power, we've got to be able to have that up and running, and so I chose to use that.
All right, so the way it's previously been done with the communications towers throughout the years been this agency, that agency, this agency, and up to this point, it was the sheriff's office running the entire communications tower site. Our goal, speak with the judge, is to make it a all-agency tower site, so ultimately ran by the emergency management team. We feel that that's going to be a better fit of everybody having buy-in to what goes into communication, what's coming up in the future with different towers and different systems we're going to, especially radio equipment. So we just felt that it was better to put it on the emergency management umbrella, not just this entity has a say.
And you're starting to see, Commissioner, unfortunately, tragedy brings about awareness sometimes, and the tragedy with the flooding on the 4th of July really brought to light lots of things emergency management related, not just in Karnes County, but over the state of Texas. And so that there's going to be a lot of funding that's coming from the state on communications, alerts. So keep an eye on that. But yes, sir, I directed that.
I understand. We recently had some work performed on that generator, and I think it fell under your department's fee. So in the future, we'll charge that to emergency management then?
Yeah, what we're trying to want to do is anything communications, emergency management, put it all under emergency management.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll make the motion to approve paying the bills as presented.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Item number 27, acknowledge Commissioners Court will hold a public hearing / a public meeting / a special meeting on September 9th. That is this evening at 6 p.m. in the Karnes County Historic Courtroom located at 101 North Pan Maria Avenue, Suite 200, Karnes City, Texas 78118. I hope to see you all there and even more. Item number 28, we need a motion to adjourn.